Before each and every season, I think it is fun to list the top players in the league going into that next year. And these are, in my opinion, the top 10 players going into the 2021 through 2022 NBA season. And a quick note before we get started, Kawhi Leonard, who is expected to miss most, if not all of the season, is not included, despite him being 100% deserving of being on this list if he was healthy, so get better soon, Kawhi. Starting off at number 10 is Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. The superstar power forward is coming off a rough season, in which he struggled and missed half the season due to various injuries. This past season, he averaged 21.8 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 3.1 assists on below average efficiency in just 36 games, but he will be entering this fall with vengeance on his mind, as he's looking to bounce back and help the Lakers return to the NBA Finals for the second time in 3 seasons. If he can stay on the floor, the Lakers will probably finish as the 1 seed in the stacked Western Conference, and Davis will be one of the top defensive players in the league, and he'll probably end up as a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year award once again. The one-time champion has proven that he is one of the best players in the league, and especially at his position when at full strength, and we have heard reports that he will see more minutes at center this season, which will help out everyone else on the floor around him. And because of all of this, I think Anthony Davis is the 10th best player in the league heading into next season. Up next at number 9 is James Harden of the Brooklyn Nets. The former MVP guard is entering his first full season as a Net, alongside his co-stars Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Some believe that he is the glue that holds that roster together with his phenomenal playmaking ability. Harden is coming off a season in which he played 8 games in Houston before the blockbuster trade to Brooklyn, where he then played 36 games before missing time with a hamstring injury. This past season, he averaged 24.6 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 10.8 assists on solid efficiency. James Harden has proven throughout his career that he is one of the best players in the league, and especially on offense, where he is considered to be one of the hardest players to guard in the game. The 2018 MVP has no offensive flaws in his game, and if he and the other 2 superstars in Brooklyn can stay healthy, then they will be championship favorites entering next year's playoffs. The only thing missing from Harden's resume is a ring, and he will be entering the season with that on his mind, and he will once again prove why he is a top 10 player in the NBA right now. Coming in at number 8 is Portland Trail Blazers superstar Damian Lillard, who has had many rumors surrounding himself this offseason, as many expected him to request a trade away from the organization. But it seems that Dame is locked into this next season as a Blazer and will continue to hunt for a title in Portland. Lillard is coming off a phenomenal season in which he averaged 28.8 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 7.5 assists on good efficiency, and a playoff run where he averaged over 34 points and 10 assists. Dame is considered one of the top guards in the NBA, and year after year he continues to prove why. Dame has proved himself to be one of the clutchest players in the NBA, and as the game approaches crunch time, or should I say Dame time, the other team is in trouble. Lillard's late-game shot-making ability is insane to watch, and once he gets it going, it's almost impossible to stop. Damian Lillard's new contract kicks in this season, but depending on how this year goes, I wouldn't be too surprised if his time in Portland will be soon coming to an end. But as of right now, he is still locked in with the Blazers as he continues to fight to get over the hump and get into the finals. This season, Dame will continue his heroics and will once again prove why he is one of the top guards and players in the NBA. Up next at number 7 is Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers, who is coming off a season of pure big man dominance in which he finished second in MVP voting. In 2021, he averaged 28.5 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 2 assists per game as he led the Sixers to the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Joel will be looking to bring home the MVP next season, and his team will look to actually make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this time as they continue to hunt for a title as one of the East's best teams. This past season, Joel has proven that centers can still be effective in the NBA if their playstyle is focused around being pure dominant and strength, as he was truly unguardable inside the paint because of his continuously growing skills around the rim. Watching Joel this season was a ton of fun, as he just got whatever he wanted on the offensive end as the Sixers' number 1 option. Some would say he was the MVP frontrunner until he missed time due to injury. Joel Embiid will enter this season looking to prove once again that he is a top player in the NBA. That's why I have him at number 7 entering 2022. Coming in at number 6 is the Dallas Mavericks young superstar, Luka Dončić. At just 22 years old, Luka is the youngest player on this list by far, and he has taken the league by storm in his first few years, as he's now entering his 4th season. The 6'7" Slovenian guard is an offensive force with 0 flaws in his game on that end of the floor, as he is a great shooter and a phenomenal high IQ playmaker. Luka is coming off a season in which he averaged 27.7 points, 8 rebounds, and 8.6 assists on solid efficiency as the Mavs' high-usage number 1 option, and a first-round playoff run in which he averaged an insane 35-plus points and 10-plus assists per night. Dončić is the early betting favorite to take home the MVP award next season, and it is no surprise as to why. The young superstar just gets whatever he wants in the offensive end, while making winning plays that help to lead his team. Luka will continue to dominate for years to come, and I for one am insanely interested to see how he continues to elevate his game in the future. As at such a young age, he has already solidified himself as one of the best guards in the league, as he is almost unguardable on the offensive end, and with shooters surrounding him, he is able to run the offense to perfection, and he is someone that can get hot any time and is nearly impossible to stop. And these are just some of the many reasons why I have Luka Dončić as the 6th best player in the NBA entering this next season. And now for the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is the 2021 MVP, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. This past season, he solidified himself as the best center in the league, and he averaged 26.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 8.3 assists on great efficiency for a big man, in a season in which his team was missing their second best player for most of the year. Jokic has proved that he is the best, if not definitely one of the best, passing big men in NBA history, and some say he is a point guard trapped in a center's body. Considering the way he sees the floor is insane for someone of his build. Nikola Jokic is an offensive mastermind who very few teams have an actual answer to, as it seems that he can just move freely within his team's offense. Jokic and the Nuggets will be looking to return to the Western Conference Finals for the second time in 3 years, as they continue to work towards winning a title, and it is safe to assume that he will be the primary factor in achieving this goal. The way he plays is fascinating to watch as a fan, and this past season he was must-see TV, and I'm sure he'll keep that up in the near future. The reigning MVP is going to be looking to defend his crown in the 2022 season, and will only continue to get better going forward, as he's only 26 years old, and this is why I have him in the top 5 players going into next year. Now at number 4, Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors. Steph is coming off a season in which he won the scoring title, put his team on his back. He averaged 32 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game on amazing efficiency, which is especially great because of how many shots he was forced to take per game. The former 2-time MVP silenced a lot of the doubters this past season, even though there shouldn't have been any at all. But nevertheless, he proved that he is still one of the best players in the game. The things he can do on the offensive end seem almost impossible. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time and has changed the way the NBA is played, prioritizing spacing the floor and jacking up threes, but there's no one better at it than Curry. Some of the shots he attempts just seem flat out insane, but he makes them. And throughout the month of April, Steph was playing some of the most out-of-this-world basketball I've ever seen. If you missed even one of those games, then you were missing pure greatness. Curry and the Warriors went into the 2021-2022 season with the hopes of bringing their 4th title in 7 years to the Bay. Steph will most certainly be in for another phenomenal season, and that is why I have him at number 4 on my list. Next up at number 3 is LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers. This man needs no introduction, as his accomplishments speak for themselves, most notably his 4 MVPs and 4 championships and the 4 Finals MVPs to go along with them. James will turn 37 during the season, but he has shown no signs of slowing down, as he just continues to surprise people when they count him out. Unfortunately for him, he missed the most time he's ever missed in his career this past season due to an ankle injury, but he still averaged 25 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.8 assists per game, and was right in the middle of the MVP race before the injury. LeBron and his co-star, who was already mentioned on this list, Anthony Davis, will look to return to the NBA Finals for the second time in 3 seasons. The King has no holes in his game, except for maybe free throw shooting. Other than that, he can do whatever he wants on either end of the floor at an insanely high level, and when it becomes playoff time, he just flips a switch and goes into a different mode to leave it all out on the floor. And he, just like in past years, will be the difference maker to whether or not his team wins a championship or not. It would be criminal for me not to have him towards the top of this list, and because of everything I just mentioned, I believe he is the 3rd best player currently in the NBA. And number 2 is Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets. This past season, KD was coming off an Achilles injury, and many thought he might never return to his old form. But not only did he come back just as strong as ever, some would say he came back better, which is almost unheard of for an injury of its caliber. KD returned and didn't skip a beat, and averaged 26.9 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per game on tremendous efficiency. But he did miss a decent amount of games, mostly due to rest. Durant is one of the best scorers this game has ever seen, due to his ability to shoot right over people at 6'10", and he also has guard skills that are unheard of for someone of his size and build. The things he is able to do are must-see, and there is no one in the NBA better at putting the ball in the basket than a healthy Kevin Durant. The Nets' big 3 of KD, Harden, and Kyrie Irving will look to bring Brooklyn its first title in franchise history, and they are the favorites to do so this year. If they can stay healthy, then it will be a scary sight for the league, and they will probably run through the East with ease, with Durant as their main guy. KD put the Nets on his back in last year's playoffs, then went on to do the same at the Olympics, where he was a main part of the reason that the U.S. brought home a gold medal in men's basketball. Kevin Durant's never-before-seen abilities for someone of his size easily puts him at the top of my list and at number 2 in the league entering this season. And finally, the best player in the NBA entering the 2021-2022 season is reigning Finals MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. 2021, he averaged 28.1 points, 11 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game, and an insane 35, 12, and 5 in the playoffs to lead his team to the finals. In the finals, he finally did it. He got his championship, and did it in an unreal fashion, with a 50-piece in the Game 6 series-clinching victory. Giannis is a 2-time MVP, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, and now Finals MVP, amongst multiple other accomplishments on an already great resume at just 26 years old. The 6'11" interior force is completely unguardable inside the paint, and he is a real freak of nature, who can realistically play and guard 1 through 5 on any given night, and your only chance of stopping him is sending him to the free throw line. If he's hitting from there, then you're in serious trouble. Watching this man play is something special, and over the past few years, I just sit back and appreciate what I'm watching. He's having a great game where he just can't be stopped. The dominance that this man plays with shows that you don't necessarily need a 3-point shot to have value on the court, especially if you're unstoppable from another area. Over the past few years, Giannis has moved up the list of best players in the league, and after this playoff run, I don't think it's up for debate anymore, as he has guaranteed his spot at the top, and he now has the ring to back it up. And that concludes my list of the top 10 players in the NBA entering 2022. And let me know in the comments section who's on your list. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If it did, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe button to see more content from me. Stay connected with me by following me on Twitter, which is on the screen right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy yourselves. Peace.